just to finish off, Aldershot, of course, since they came out of the Football League, it's been up and down. It's been from the first season they came out of into the conference, as it was called then, minus 10 points. Andy Scott's side was the manager for that season, kept them up in the last week. And to be fair, I think it was a really good achievement with a minus 10 start and all the turmoil that was going on at the time. And then there was, I suppose, turbulence. Andy went. Another guy, Barry Smith, came in for a year and sort of mid-table, below halfway, that kind of thing. Gary came back and 2 great seasons, especially the first season when he got a young squad together. And to be honest, it would be a massive regret, I think, because they got into the playoffs, played Tranmere Rovers, and just one of those games, individual error, good, and we lost 3-0 at home. Where and that was the end of that, really. Second year got to the playoffs again, and then the following year actually got relegated, but got a reprieve because of Gateshead's financial position. And then it's a rebuilding process now. So it's been a turbulent 7 years since you departed.
Yeah, in more ways than one. Yeah, definitely. For me, the 2 teams I really played for were Shrewsbury and Aldershot. Obviously, started off at Watford, but didn't really make a mark there. So there's only real 2 teams I really played for in that respect in terms of the Football League. And I look out for both of the results every week. Always. I follow you guys on social media and things like that sort of things. I keep abreast of what's going on at the football club and things like that sort of thing. And it's just really sad, mate. To be honest with you, from where we were, playing Rotherham, playing Man United, playing West Ham, as we've spoken about. I meant in the playoffs, Rotherham, not when we got relegated. It just seems a million miles away from there, basically. And I just don't really know which direction the club's actually going from an outsider looking in. Just don't really see the direction of what's going on. Like you said there, you've chopped and changed with managers. Don't like you had something going with Gary again. And could you build from that? Could you invest as well at the same sort of time and help? I think he done unbelievably well. I think he set his standards, or he set the bar probably too high. He overachieved, I think, with what he had, and certainly with the squad he had. And obviously, at that level, any level, you're going to lose your best players, and he did, and it was really difficult for him to rebuild time and time again on probably the finances that he was probably dealing with, with some of them. So it's a very competitive league now as well. There's a lot of finances coming in, new money coming in as well from different clubs as well. Not all of it works, filed and people like that, but it's a lot more competitive, that's for sure. And I do worry at times, I've got to say, where the club's going. Could it be another season where, I hope not, but could it be another season where, Gateshead again, where, you slip into there, and that would be really catastrophic. And I really pray to God that doesn't happen. But I'd like just to see what the identity of the football club is, where it's going. Having a really good youth section underneath it, and they've got a massive academy now, and they're quite aggressive in their recruitment sort of thing. But how many of them are realistically coming in, not just playing 1 game or 2 games, but really setting, playing game after game after game there, and like Danny Hilton did and people like that sort of thing. I don't see it, to be honest with you. I know it's difficult, but I don't know. I just want to see a little bit more vibrancy about the club, really, and just wanted to do well and get back into the Football League effectively. Is he going to do it in his current state? Probably not, is what I'd say.
And I've deliberately not mentioned COVID all night because I'm sick and tired of it, to be honest, as we all are. Yeah. But the situation is, because we're talking a national league likely to be playing without any people going to watch them, so it's going to be weird, and it's going to be so different, and whatever the financial implications are, obviously, if there's no aid, if there's no grants from anywhere, then all these football clubs are going to fold. There's no question about it, because there's no way the football clubs are going to be able to survive without a grant to pay the wages and all that kind of stuff. But even if they do get the grants and they play, it's going to be weird that we could be potentially a season of non-league football, national leagues that are, levels 5 and 6 in this country could end up playing without anybody going to watch them. It just baffles the life out of me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a ridiculous decision, to be perfectly honest with you. It's so contradictory. Well, we could be all night on politics and measures put in place and things like that sort of thing, and the contradiction, hypocrisy of a lot of it. I just think that we're sensible about it. These institutions, you've got to remember, Harvard, for example, 112 years old, Aldershot, in its previous form and this form, probably something similar. And they all are. And these aren't just, football clubs, where someone plays a bit of football. These are livelihoods for people. They're also hubs of communities as well. It's where people get together. It's where they socialise. And for many older fans as well, it's maybe sometimes their only chance to go out and to socialise and to talk. I mean, my nan's been a season ticket at Watford for many years, and I think she's given it up this year. And it's I feel really sorry for her because she goes with her friends and she has we talk about it sort of thing, and it's a great sort of social sort of get together as well. And I just think that these stadiums as well, they're never full, are they? They're never at capacity. I mean, what does Aldershot hold? 7,500, something like that. Could you have social distancing of some sort there and have a limited capacity of, say, 3,000? Yes, easily. And would that be more than enough for Aldershot? Yes, absolutely. At the minute, they'd take anything for 3,000 people every week, wouldn't they? So I just think that it could be just, rather than just a carte blanche sort of we're not going to do it. We're not just going to do it. I just think to myself there could be a more pragmatic approach to it, with a lot more sort of guidance going into it. But giving the opportunity to clubs to self-fund themselves rather than just rely on grants as well, because you and I both know that some will do it properly, some will use it to their advantage, and it becomes an unfair playing field as well. Can they become innovative as well in terms of streaming things? Yes, but what I read about the Football League and how they have done things with certain sort of streaming servers doesn't benefit smaller clubs at all. So again, can it just be a fairer place really, where we can use some common sense these institutions need to survive. You can't, if anything else was 112 years old, it'd probably be listed. If there's a building or anything like that, you probably wouldn't be able to touch it without permission. So in my opinion, why should a football club be any different? These are core things to our heritage, to our culture, and to our communities as well.
And just to end, Ben, you played 191 games for Aldershot.
Is that all? On that? I thought it was 199. Sorry. Was
it 199? I'll get my son to check. He's the stats man. He's good at all that. But I think recently, they did a survey or something, didn't they? And then I think you got voted the best right back or something by some survey. I think it was your family or something. So I think all your family did the voting in. But that aside, whether you're the best right back or not, we can debate that all night. But how would you like the Aldershot fans to remember you by? What would if an Aldershot fan spoke to you and Bernard was it? What would you be happy with? And what do you think would be a truthful account of your time as a player here?
Okay. Firstly, I've got to say that this isn't an obituary for me. So I'm still alive, which is nice. But what I've got to say is, firstly, I did see there was a social media thing a few years ago now, wasn't there, where an Aldershot all-time 11 or whatever, and somehow, like you said there, I managed to bribe enough people to vote for me to become voted the best right back. And I've got to say, Graham, that that touched me really, really quite a lot, to be honest with you, because we play this game and we all want to play for Tottenham and Arsenal and Man United and Real Madrid and things like that sort of thing. But the reality is somewhat different at times. And I look at my career with a lot of pride. Could I have done better? Yes, probably. But to be voted for in any team's history, whether it's Sunday League team, I don't care, but to be voted for in that sort of sense, where some people or few people think that you're the best they've ever had in that position, and like you say, subjective. I get that. Don't get me wrong, but someone's got to finish on top, I suppose, and it means an awful lot to me. I've got to say, it really does, and I'm really proud of that, to be honest with you. And it's for things like my son never really watched me play football, and I've got another little boy now who's only 5 months old. So to be able to tell them and bore them instead of you when I'm older about that would be lovely, to be honest with you. So thank you, whoever voted for me, who probably wasn't my family because they don't like me, but it means an awful lot to me, I've got to say. So thank you very much. And then how would I like them to remember me? He tried. That's it.
I think it's fair, Ben. Brilliant. Well, I always enjoyed talking to you when you were at the club. You were an excellent ambassador for the football club, and I think what you talked earlier on about how leadership is required from how football clubs are run, it stems down from positions of responsibility. And as a captain, I don't think you could have done any more for the football club, even in the times in the last season. I think that anything that happened was out. You talked earlier on that you were part of that situation, of course, but there were far bigger reasons why Aldershot Town Football Club got relegated into the conference, and I don't think people remember you from that. I think they remember 191 games of somebody who gave service of a true commitment, loyalty, and a desire to do, as you just said, you tried to do the best that you could, and I think you certainly achieved that. So thank you very much. It's been really enjoyable. Wish you all the best with Hertford Town and your academy, and as I say, I'll pop over at some stage and see how you get on. But thank you very much for your time. Good luck to you, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a massive pleasure. So thank you.